As we continue our coverage here on Live in the Locker Room on Fox Sports Chicago. And the franchise has arrived. Michael Jeffrey Jordan with a smile and, I must say, Van, a 4-star outfit.
Michael, 38% from the field, 59% from the free throw line. If you know those numbers before the game, do you still feel confident you find a way to scratch out a win?
So what? So what? We shot 38% and 59% from the free throw line, but you know, our defense held strong. You know, I mean, defense wins championship. I think that was very obvious, and you know, we banged the boards very hard. When you're shooting that bad, then you have to go to the boards, and you know, gave ourselves many opportunities to shoot the basketball, and you know, it was a hard-fought victory. You know, it's about heart. You know, and I think you saw a lot of heart out there on the basketball court. I mean, our bench came in and gave us some big lift, gave us a big lift. Judd Bushley hadn't played all playoffs, maybe the blowout game here in Chicago, and he came in and gave us some great minutes. And Steve Kerr finally found his range and extended the defense. So I mean, it was a great effort. It was truly a championship type of team in terms of just trying to find ways to win and making it happen.
Michael,
you all but guaranteed a victory here in Game 7. Is there ever a doubt?
No.
Michael, late in the game, I think it was right before Ron Harper went to the line with like 8.5 seconds left. You were in the backcourt, everyone else was in the front court, and you were just bent over, slumped down, and looked like you took a big breath. Was that a sigh of relief, or you just gasping for air?
I was tired. I was just tired. If you remember the couple plays beforehand, I was fighting for rebounds and just trying to get, you know, get the ball and control the tempo of the game. And I was just tired, you know, and that's what it was. I mean, today was just lay everything on the basketball court. Tomorrow we can rest. You know, today we have to win, you know, and whatever it takes to win. If that means shooting 38% and 59% and out rebounding this team, you know, on the boards and controlling, you know, the defense, you know, that's what it took. You know, that's all that matters. You know, I'm pretty sure people are going to say, well, you know, I heard a question just a few minutes ago, is some of the swagger about the championship team gone, lost in this series? Probably. No one's taken anything away from us thus far, you know, so we still have what we have and still have an opportunity to maintain.
Michael, during some of those tough stretches out there, did it ever creep into your mind anything outside of the game that this might be the last time you play in front of this crowd, the last time that you're a Chicago Bull?
No,
did it ever?
at no point in time in the course of the 48 minutes did I ever think negative. You know, sure, okay, maybe we got off to a slow start, we were a little nervous, but no point did I think negative about what we can accomplish at this team at the end of the game, you know, and how we could win. I always kept positive thoughts in my mind. We had to work extra hard to get it, but I never doubted what we could accomplish, and that's always been my attitude, day one.
Michael, what was your halftime speech like? Phil said you gave a little lecture there coming in at halftime.
Well, I just said that leave the referees alone. You know, we can complain and we can do whatever we have to say about the referees, you know, once we get into the locker room, but out there on the basketball court, we can't control the game. The referees control the game, and every time we may mouth off or say something, we're giving away free points and digging ourselves a hole. So I just told them to shut up and play.
Well, I think you're like 3.5 in the 7 games. With some of those series where you guys have come out, knocked teams out early, and played this way, this hard, this long.
Well, sure. I mean, the ideal situation is to sweep every game, every series, you know. But this, for a team that's trying to do something for the third time, it's not uncommon, you know, to lose, you know, focus at certain times, have to fight within yourself, fight yourself basically to excel as a team. I think that's the battle that we deal with now. Sure, it's a great team that we're playing against and a great team we're about to play against. But when you talk about a team that's, you know, won so much and achieved so much, and an organization that's won so much, a lot of times it's a battle against yourself, you know, because the expectations are there, and you try to live up to those expectations, and maybe, you know, you come in a situation, you know, a little cocky, a little swagger, as the gentleman said, and you don't put forth the same effort. But, that's just human nature. That's some things that you just can't control.
You always say you're not happy just to be in the finals, though, but this year, is there a little more happiness of just getting there?
Yeah, it's a big challenge to get there, but if you look at our records, we haven't lost in the finals. That's a great confidence to have, and, we go in with a lot of confidence. Sure, it's a battle to get there, and no one said it was going to be easy, but we're there, so now let's just do the job.
Michael, we talked about shutting Reggie down. Only one shot from him in the fourth quarter. How are you guys able to do that?
I switched off on him. I told Harp, I could dodge the screens pretty well, and he was working hard the first 3 quarters. I imagine he had to be a little tired, and I switched over to him, and I was able to get through the screens and not really give him any fresh looks. And I think it was a concentrated effort on everybody's part to make sure that Reggie doesn't, have a miraculous, fourth quarter, and we did a good job of that.
Talk about the battle, the mental battle. Is that why you promised a win, to get everybody thinking that direction?
Sure, you have to think positive. You can't go into a situation where, I'm not home, where you're trying to achieve something and you think negative and you let negative thoughts come in. You have to think positive. And then, yeah, sure, that was one of the reasons that I felt that I had to, as a leader, speak up and say, hey, we're going to win this. It doesn't matter how we do it, but you got to have positive thoughts so that you can achieve it.
Is that the reason why you spoke up so quickly after Game 6, when there was a specter of possibly you might be losing a little bit of the swagger, that you guaranteed the victory in a sense?
Well, I think it was to beat you guys down, because you guys are going to jump on it as if, we were vulnerable, and yet we're still in control. We got the home court advantage. We're coming back to our building. They hadn't beat us here in the series. So, I jumped on it so quickly so that the players don't think about, some of the negative things that may be written or, read about it and let that seep into their thinking. We're still in control of this series, and I think we can win. I know we can win, actually, and, that was the purpose for saying it so early.
From the
Say that again?
How do you feel about the officiating?
It's over and done with. I'm not even going to comment on it.
Michael, did you get some extra emotional good feeling about seeing Gus here today?
Yeah, Gus is a very positive inspiration for me. Hopefully that's for everybody. He means a lot. And when you look at Gus, the game doesn't really mean as much, because he's doing something that, he's struggling for something that, means a little bit more than playing a basketball game. And I think that's to have him around is a sense of reality for me, and it certainly is a positive influence for me. He's like a father to me, and certainly I enjoy him being around.
From the standpoint of expenditure of your personal physical energy, will the Utah series be somewhat easier for you than this was?
I don't know. It's they're going to play us hard, and they're going to pound at us at our weak points. I think we got to explore it a little bit, with the matchups. Luke had a tough series. He gave us some good minutes, but Tony certainly, they made him a focal point on the defensive end, and Steve Kerr at times were a focal point at the defensive end. So, somehow we have to correct those focal points. And knowing Utah and the veteran team that they are, they're going to try to attack us in that area. But sure, physically we may be a little tired, but we got the hearts. Our heart is not tired, and that means a lot more than the physical in some respects.
Michael, from a mental point of view, leader in the postseason, does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, it will mean something once I'm done. Once I have an opportunity to reminisce about it and equate the 6 championships that go along with it.
Michael, Phil intimated that Dennis is pouting over not starting, and that was one of the reasons for his lackluster play. Are you concerned that that could continue into the next series, and how valuable will Dennis be in that series?
Dennis's value is going to be measured up in his energy level and certainly his attitude, approaching the series. Last year, he didn't really have a great series against Utah. Fortunately, we had Brian Williams who could come in and give us some great minutes. But I think Dennis's energy is well needed, and I think that hopefully he has an opportunity to redeem himself from what happened last year. We don't have a Brian Williams waiting back there to to step in there. So he has to focus. And I'm pretty sure Phil's gonna, he's gonna move back into the starting lineup because of the matchups. But his energy level is very important for us. And I don't. Hopefully, I don't anticipate. I really don't anticipate any problems coming from Dennis.
Michael, even though you have home, they have home court, and they beat you twice this season, you still retain a mental edge because you guys are the champions and you beat them last
Sure,
year.
they haven't taken anything from us yet, and so that gives us a mental edge, and I think that we're still confident that we can achieve it. It's just going to be harder. No one said it was going to be easy, but it's definitely going to be harder.
Michael, I was pretty much taken by what happened in Game 6, as well as a lot of people in this room, a lot of people in the city. Do you think we, the media, as well as fans, expect too much from you guys on the court and off?
Yeah, I mean, we set high standards. It's very obvious that to win 5 championships in 7 years and the possibility of winning 6 and 8, high expectations are something that we've kind of set for ourselves, which is good. There's a good side to that, but the downside of it is, if you have lackluster series, and it incurs some doubts in the public and the media's mind, and that isn't so bad because it sometimes can wake up our focus and put us back on the right road. But that's one of the good things we can have, because we've had so much success over the years, and that's human nature.
What about off the court? Do we expect too much from you guys off the court, off the field?
Oh, sure. But that's a pros and cons situation. I mean, sure, there's a lot of us who get paid extra money to be role models and do things off the court, but we have to live with the expectations that people have for us. I mean, and that's the challenge that once you accept that money, then you accept that challenge, and you try to do it the best way possible. But that's just life.
Last question, please. Last question.
Few times you've been to Salt Lake City, you've gotten screwed. Any precautionary measures taken?
Well, I choose not to stay in Park City, and I have my reasons. But I will try to make sure I eat the right foods, no pizza, none of that stuff. Get enough rest and be prepared. I want to be ready to play this series because it's an important series for us because we're fighting an uphill battle from a lot of people's perspective, and we don't have the home court advantage. So I mean, every game means a lot to us, and you got to have a lot of energy, and physically we have to take care of our bodies and be ready for a barrage of crowds and energy coming from Utah.